Tonight on CBC Vancouver News.
He's very, very committed to Surrey and would also have his finger on the pulse.
The Premier taps a former senior Mountie to help improve communication with the public amid BC's extortion wave. But some worry about more shakeups. Plus, the mayor of Abbotsford takes his case for flood prevention to Ottawa.
This is critical for us and for our future.
But will the feds put money on the table? And Vancouver Council says yes to one night of summer fireworks.
It helps all of these businesses.
That's not what we need to spend our money on.
It's really a lot of fun.
After the 3-night celebration of light is snuffed out.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Dan Burritt. Thanks for joining us. A former senior Mountie who tackled homicides and gang crime will now be in charge of improving communications between police and people in BC when it comes to extortion. Katie DeRosa has more on the new leader and other shakeups amid the violence.
Paul Dadwal has been hired to lead a new advisory group formed by BC's Premier to improve communication between police and British Columbians as extortion-related violence continues to terrorize communities, particularly Surrey. Dadwal served with the RCMP for 25 years, starting in Surrey. He investigated money laundering, homicides, and gang crime.
He knows how to combat crime and how to connect with community.
Dadwal was not available for an interview, but tells CBC News that while he's proud to take on the role, no one takes pride in stepping into leadership because their community is in crisis.
He's very, very committed to Surrey.
Former MP Ginny Sims is a host at a Surrey radio station targeted by gunfire last year. She hopes Dadwal and the advisory committee will help regain the trust that's been lost.
There is no secret that people in Surrey were beginning to lose confidence in the ability of the Surrey Police Service to be able to handle this.
Mr. Paul Dadwal's appointment is giving us another hope.
EB is also taking steps to shake up the Surrey Police Board. 4 of the 8 members will be replaced with people picked by Surrey's mayor and the public safety minister. EB says the entire board will eventually be replaced as their terms are up. The police board chair says the shakeup is bad timing, given that the Surrey Police Service is still working to fully take over from the RCMP.
You don't change riders in the middle of a stream, right?
Speaking from Ottawa Tuesday, Mayor Brenda Locke backed the police board overhaul and the advisory committee.
It is crucial that we amplify the voices of residents and business owners who have been victimized by extortion and violence for far too long.
Surrey Police Chief Norm Lipinski says people and business owners are raising valid and necessary questions of police, and he's committed to working with them to tackle extortion. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
The RCMP, meanwhile, says multiple schools in Coquitlam and Port Coquitlam were placed in a hold and secured this afternoon following phone-in threats. Mounties say the alleged threats were made against 8 institutions, including elementary and high schools.
Well, I can confirm that we had varied different types of threats at each of the sites, and that we're actively working to investigate and determine any linkages between them.
Fox says just before 12:30 p.m., officers responded to a report of an alleged threat against a school on Poirier Street in Coquitlam. As they responded to that call, they received more reports of alleged threats against other schools in the district. Students were told to hold in place while officers secured each school. In a statement, the school district says all sites have been safely cleared by officers. Port Moody police, meanwhile, say they responded to reports of an alleged threat at an elementary school in that city. They deemed that to be unfounded. Hundreds of children in Surrey, meanwhile, are back in class after a fire-damaged Woodland Park Elementary last week. Still, as Amelia John explains, some students are being sent to a nearby school while repair work is done.
It's the first day for Regent Road Elementary's newest students.
If you're scared or something, we're always going to welcome you in. We're never going to leave anyone out.
About 200 children are now being bussed in from nearby Woodland Park Elementary, which was damaged in a fire last week.
As soon as we knew that this was happening, we brought all of our teams together to take a look at where we might have space and opportunity within the district.
Primary students from K through 3 will remain at Woodland Park in modular classrooms, while children in grades 4 through 7 will go to Regent Road, which has been running at half capacity.
This school's fairly new. It's less than 5 years old. And so when it was built for the anticipated construction coming here. And obviously with some of the economic situation going on, construction hasn't happened quite as fast as we thought it was going to.
Extra support staff are being brought in to help students and teachers adjust.
I can only imagine for the families and the children how difficult staff, everybody, how difficult it's been.
A lot of the materials you see in classrooms are out of teachers' pockets. And so there's a lot of stress around that financial impact as well.
For some, the situation is bringing back memories of the fire at Hazel Trembath Elementary in Port Coquitlam.
We had done a lot of advocacy and support for our Coquitlam DPAC counterparts because it took over 2 years to kind of get financial approval for the replacement, and they still don't have a school.
The cause of the fire at Woodland Park is still under investigation, and it's unclear when all students will be able to return.
At least spring break, but that's only 6 weeks away, so you never know how long construction and renovation work can take.
For now, an opportunity to focus on learning new things and making new friends. Amelia John, CBC News, Surrey.
He arrived in Ottawa hoping for more help. The mayor of Abbotsford in the nation's capital looking to get more money for a flood mitigation plan, and he brought along some friends. Keir Junos has more on what he's hoping for when it comes to cash and infrastructure.
Abbotsford's mayor met with federal ministers in Ottawa Wednesday, pressing for a funding commitment on flood prevention after the city's second major flood in 4 years this past December. He was joined by BC's emergency management minister and the chief of Sumas First Nation. The group arguing that destructive flooding in the Sumas Prairie has national consequences if not addressed.
Hopefully we're going to be coming with a commitment from the federal government to step up as they were promised in 2021, and this is critical for us and for our future.
Mayor Ross Siemens, Chief Dalton Silvers, and Minister Kelly Green are all among the members of a roundtable on flood prevention in the Sumas Prairie.
I do think we're here with really the common interest that we're looking at now is public safety and food security with the farmlands that are there.
But Green says the federal government's involvement at the table has been limited to one observer attending one meeting.
It's perplexing why they're not there. I'm here to seek a commitment for them to attend and to be part of the process.
The floods this past December caused an estimated $74 million in insured damage in the Fraser Valley, and costs from the 2021 floods were estimated to reach into the billions. The federal Minister of Emergency Management, Eleanor Oslowski, told CBC News last December it's working on the issue. And as part of the federal budget, a new $6 billion federal fund was also announced in November to fund important infrastructure upgrades. But speaking with CBC News after the press conference, Siemens says his city needs to be prioritized.
I'm not sure how they're going to fund this, but to be very blunt, to go through a funding application similar to what we had to do previously, and I would be offended.
The federal emergency management minister is set to come to BC to speak with local leaders over the issue. Keir Junos, CBC News, Abbotsford.
BC's Human Rights Commissioner has found Vancouver police imposed restrictions on the media during the Hastings decampment in 2023, infringing on freedom of the press and human rights standards.
As noted, the city and the VPD failed to strike the appropriate balance between potential safety and other risks with the right to freedoms of the press and peaceful protest.
The report finds that during the decampment on April 5th and 6th of 2023, Vancouver officers restricted media access to defined zones, and efforts to ensure access were not sufficient to mitigate the restrictions caused to freedom of the press. Vancouver Police says it disagrees with the suggestion that reporters were banned or excluded from the decampment. In a joint statement, the city and police department say media access was prioritized, planned, and communicated in advance.
Totally disagree with that characterization. It's unfair, and so the media had access. VPD worked with media. They provided a media liaison officer, and they had access to the site. I think what's important, we also, like the VPD, they have a responsibility to make sure everyone's safe.
During the decampment, Vancouver police had moved into the downtown East Side neighborhood with city staff to remove tents put up by unhoused people. BC Conservative MLAs Bruce Banman and Steve Cooner are joining the race to lead their party, pushing that field of candidates into double digits. Banman, the government accountability critic, says he's running to revive pillars of the provincial economy like mining, forestry, and agriculture. Cooner, the Attorney General's critic, announced his candidacy on X, saying, quote, "It's time to rebuild trust, restore order, and reignite BC's potential." If you were hoping to watch some fireworks in town this summer, you will get one night in Vancouver thanks to a vote by City Council. It's a push from the mayor to fill the gap left by the cancellation of the three-night Celebration of Light. Pinky Wong has more from supporters and opponents of the new spending.
It's okay to, have a little bit of joy spread throughout the city on one night.
Mayor Kansim put forward the motion to keep a fireworks show in the city at the cost of up to $2 million.
We've always supported the fireworks, and we are committed to over $1.4 million. That was already in the budget, and so we're talking about an incremental $600,000.
The Celebration of Light Fireworks Festival was canceled indefinitely last year, citing financial constraints.
We've spent the last 4 years putting $150 million in reserves for situations like this, where it's unique, that it will actually have a big impact.
This is intended to be a one-year bridge as the city asks senior governments to renew their funding commitment levels for the Celebration of Light. Councillors who oppose the motion think this is not the priority when SIM proposed a zero means zero budget.
There's no real business plan. This is about $2 million at a time when the mayor and ABC councillors have committed to a zero means zero budget. We are letting go over 400 employees from the city of Vancouver. We are faced with austerity budgets.
From so many arts organizations that are struggling, Folk Fest, Bard on the Beach, to any number of smaller independent sort of festivals and nonprofits across the city that are struggling for even smaller pool of grants.
Residents in the West End had mixed feelings about a fireworks return.
It's fun, it's stupid, I know. Bing, bing, splash, splash, but honestly, it's really a lot of fun.
That's not what we need to spend our money on. There's people that need homes, there's issues with drugs in this city. We don't need fireworks.
It brings, 400,000 people downtown Vancouver. It helps all of these businesses.
And we want to defeat that idea that Vancouver's a no-fun city, but only if it pays for itself.
City staff will begin the process of planning and organizing the event for early August. Pinky Wong, CBC News, Vancouver.
If you were hoping to get outdoors more this winter, a popular option is already open because of our recent warm weather, the Grouse Grind. The steep 2.5-kilometer trail usually closes in the winter and opens in late April. But our mild winter has led to this early reopening. Some people are already taking advantage.
Feels more like May right now. Yeah, it doesn't feel like February at all.
Trail was in really good shape, a little bit wet at some spots, but nothing too crazy.
It's still the beginning of February. I mean, we still may get snow, so yeah, who knows? But it's pretty pitiful up top, which I hate to say that.
Hikers are reminded you need to buy a ticket for the red Skyride or blue Grouse Gondola for the trip downhill because you can't hike down the Grouse Grind. What do you think, Darius? Should we just hit it up now?
It would be the earliest I've ever done the Grouse Grind. Also the first time I've ever done it.
Oh, well, there you go.
But
breaking the seal.
That's right. Extraordinarily warm across BC today, especially for those coastal areas, parts of the central coast like Bella Bella, hitting almost 20 degrees Celsius. 19.2 is the highest that I saw. Bella Coola, also a little bit further inland, 17, 18 degrees. Similar in Tofino, very warm temperatures across the board, as much as 10 degrees plus above normal, which is unusual for the coast. Now, we also have a rainfall warning in place for parts of the north coast, both by the water and inland. That was issued yesterday, keeping an eye on the situation there, even as that atmospheric river moves off. We also have a fog advisory in place for parts of the North Thompson and Columbia region. So be on the lookout. That should last through tomorrow afternoon, especially they mentioned in the advisory around Clearwater. So be on the lookout for that. Like I said, extraordinarily warm, including here in southwest BC. Bit of a drier day tomorrow, albeit with some morning fog, similar to start off on Friday. And then that rain arrives later on Friday and into Saturday here on the lower mainland.
Okay. Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
understanding why some people who choose MAID are having to transfer hospitals in the final hours of their lives. That story is next. A Vancouver palliative care doctor testified in BC Supreme Court earlier in the day about why she quit her job. She says she chose to resign rather than authorize transfers for patients in faith-based hospitals to receive medical assistance in dying. The CBC's Tara Carmen has the details.
It's a battle over how someone's final hours are spent. On the one side, church-run healthcare facilities who say medically assisted dying isn't in keeping with their religion. On the other, plaintiffs who say they're being denied their right to a dignified death. Back in 2023, Samantha O'Neill was dying of cervical cancer and opted for MAID. But because she was at St. Paul's, a Catholic hospital, she wasn't allowed to have the procedure and was forced to transfer. Now her mother is part of the legal team challenging the policy. If this heads to the Supreme Court of Canada, it could have implications for the entire country. Here's why. First off, the number of people receiving MAID in Canada is growing. There were more than 16,000 provisions in 2024, and that number is likely to increase as Canada's population ages. Second, Transfers for MAID are actually pretty common. A lot of the time these transfers are for the patient's own benefit. Say they're in a hospital and want to die at home. But Health Canada data shows several hundred patients a year are transferred in the final hours of their life, not because they want to be, but because of the policies of the facility where they're being cared for. This was the reason for a quarter of MAID transfers in 2024. Health Canada data also shows that transfers for this reason are actually more common outside BC, even though the case at the centre of it happened in Vancouver. About a third of MAID-related transfers in BC happened because of the policies of the facility in 2024. But that figure rises to 77% in Manitoba and 74% in Alberta. Not only that, but each province has its own way of handling this. BC's policy, which is being tested in this trial, says faith-based facilities receiving public funds don't have to allow MAID in their buildings, but they can't impede requests for it or access to information about it. That's basically how it works in Alberta, Manitoba, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland and Labrador. But Saskatchewan and Ontario have no policy on this and leave it to individual institutions to decide. The only province where faith-based facilities do have to allow MAID is in Quebec, and that policy is being challenged by the Archdiocese of Montreal. You might be wondering, could this mean people who don't agree with medical assistance in dying are forced to participate? No. This case is only about the building where MAID can happen. The plaintiffs want MAID allowed in these facilities, provided by people who don't work for the faith-based institution and who are able and willing to do so. Tara Carmen, CBC News, Vancouver.
Metro Vancouver is pressing pause on a plan to cut leash-optional spaces for dogs in Pacific Spirit Regional Park. To try to cut down on conflicts between dogs and other park users, Metro staff had recommended reducing those leash-optional spaces from about 65% of trails to 51%, but now they've decided instead to install high-visibility signage and boost education as well as enforcement. Metro says trail designations will stay the same, subject to future engagement. The province says it has now added 10 new beds at Creekside Withdrawal Management Centre in Surrey to try to boost access and cut wait times for people seeking voluntary addictions care.
The addiction and mental health crisis that we're facing is not an individual issue. This is a community crisis. And supports during addiction and withdrawal can be the difference between surviving and truly healing.
The government says this addition will help more than 500 people. The facility is also getting extra staffing, including doctors and a senior Indigenous cultural advisor. Since 2023, 4,400 people have accessed medical withdrawal management beds there. A spectacular winter day in Tofino that, well, looked a lot more like spring. It hit a warm 17 degrees at noon. Perfect weather for sand combing and surfing. Is there more to come? Well, Darius will tell us in his BC-wide forecast coming up.
This is Vancouver is a new CBC podcast where we explore the issues, the stories, and the people that make this place home. Listen to This is Vancouver wherever you get your podcasts.
Alberta Premier Danielle Smith is threatening to withhold funding for new judicial appointments. That's unless Ottawa gives the province more say on who gets picked. The CBC's Julia Wong has more on the story from Edmonton.
The Alberta Premier is calling on the Prime Minister to make changes to how federal judges are appointed, or she says the province will freeze funding to support new positions. Right now, those judges are appointed by the federal government with input from committees from across the country. Danielle Smith wants a special committee with more Alberta-appointed experts to be involved in the process. She argues that the province has distinct legal traditions that need to be reflected, though there are no specifics about what those traditions are. She wants collaboration on these new judicial positions, or she says the government will withhold funding to support them, such as money for staffing or for office space. Concerns are being raised over what that could mean for the average Albertan.
If you've got a divorce that's going to be contested or civil litigation that's taking place, even potentially issues with probate, if we need to have a King's Bench justice sit in on a matter, the criminal matters will push them out of the way until they're concluded.
At risk of stating the obvious, it's essential that we have a judiciary who's able to make decisions without fear or favor amongst those who have the power to appoint or, in theory, remove a judge from the bench.
Last month on her radio call-in show, Smith said she would like to direct judges in response to a question about bail reform. That led to a rare rebuke from the Chief Justices of Alberta courts, who said judicial independence is the foundation of a healthy democracy. Julia Wong, CBC News, Edmonton.
This week marks 9 months since 2 children vanished without a trace in rural Nova Scotia. Now, in an exclusive interview with CBC News, a close friend of their mother is speaking for the first time since Lily and Jack Sullivan disappeared. More now from Angela McIver.
It's a case that has gripped people all over the world, described as unique because not 1, but 2 children vanished, with few answers 9 months later. Their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, has stayed out of the public eye, resulting in intense criticism on social media. But her close family friend, Cheryl Robinson, says people shouldn't judge.
Her behavior to a lot of people may seem odd, may seem different, and it may not be what a lot of people would do if their 2 kids were missing. But until you're in that situation, you really don't know how you would act.
On the morning of May 2nd of last year, Brooks Murray called 911 when she awoke to find Jack and Lily missing from their home in Lansdowne, Nova Scotia. Brooks Murray left the scene with her family and friends the day after the children disappeared and has never been back, despite several searches. Many people have been asking why.
She had left because we weren't leaving her there. It just wasn't the proper fit. And we knew when Jack and Lily were found, or we were hoping that they were going to be found, that they would be brought back to Malaya's mom's anyway, so we didn't feel the need to have to stay there.
Last week, RCMP charged the children's stepfather, Daniel Martel, with assault, sexual assault, and forcible confinement related to an adult complainant. He has not responded to multiple requests for comment. In early January, he told CBC he believes he's not a focus in the Jack and Lily investigation. The head of the Nova Scotia RCMP Major Crime Unit says the case is still being investigated under the Missing Persons Act. He says as far as he's concerned, this will not become a cold case. Angela McIver, CBC News, Halifax.
It was once the giant of retail stores for children, a place parents and youngsters could not avoid around birthdays or the holidays. But attempts to save the remaining Toys R Us stores in Canada have failed. As Deanna Sumanak-Johnson tells us, the company is asking an Ontario court for a reprieve so it can try to restructure again.
I don't want to grow up fun, Toys R Us.
Their big box stores once shaped children's dreams with their wall-to-wall assortment of toys. Now, Toys R Us Canada is fighting for its life. The company filed for creditor protection, saying it owes $120 million to vendors and a substantial amount to landlords.
There's been rumors for quite a while about missing rent payments and missing payments to suppliers. And I think a lot of people in the industry realize that, you know, the Toys R Us business model, at least appearing from the outside, doesn't seem to be resonating with Canadians.
Toys R Us Canada, bought by Doug Putman, owner of Sunrise Records back in 2021, has been shrinking for years, shuttering stores and trying to stay afloat. After closing 53 stores in the past 2 years, the chain currently operates only 22 stores in Canada. Its diminishing profile, a sign of the times.
All bricks and mortar stores face this challenge of getting consumers excited about leaving the comfort of their home and not shopping online to buy something in person. But it's especially accentuated when it comes to children. And these stores lack that instant hit of dopamine that kids get when they play games and videos and so forth on their iPads and on their smartphones.
At one of the few remaining stores, customers have mixed feelings.
Does anyone really shop in person for toys anymore?
I've grown up with Toys R Us, always being in the picture of my own kids. That's where I used to go buy their Christmas presents. So it's a little bit sad.
That sentimental link may hold some promise. The company could find a buyer for its intellectual property who could restructure the business, make it leaner and more modern. But experts say a more likely option is to close off all the remaining stores and liquidate merchandise. Also at stake, jobs of about 600 employees. Deanna Sumanak-Johnson, CBC News, Toronto.
And a final note, Toys R Us has now paused its e-commerce business and will only accept gift cards at its remaining open stores for the next 14 days. Just days away from the opening ceremony of the Winter Olympics in Italy, how Canada's athletes are gearing up to fight for medals despite being older than you might think. Stick around. In the U.S., President Trump's border czar says about 700 immigration enforcement officers are being pulled out of Minnesota immediately. That's about a quarter of all federal agents currently in the state, where there have been weeks of protests over their tactics and the deaths of 2 people. The tensions surrounding ICE are far from over and are now reaching all the way to Europe and the Winter Olympics. Briar Stewart has details on that from Italy.
On the wintry streets of Cortina, a visible increase in police. As Olympic organizers ramp up security, Italy's government is still trying to ease public concern over the presence of U.S. ICE agents. We will not see anything on national territory that resembles what has been seen in the media in the United States, said Italy's interior minister. Protesters have taken to the streets after Italian media revealed that personnel with the U.S. Immigration and Enforcement Agency are being deployed to the country. U.S. officials say they will be helping with diplomatic security and not out on the street as they have been in Minnesota. But that hasn't quelled the backlash.
I don't want ICE, no.
Even just the word ICE has the potential to be contentious at the Winter Games.
U.S. Olympic officials are turning this hotel into a hospitality space for athletes and their families. It was supposed to be called the Ice House. It's now been rebranded the Winter House.
U.S. figure skating champion Amber Glenn said it was a wise move.
A lot of people say you're just an athlete, like stick to your job, shut up about politics, but politics affect us all.
Alyssa Liu feels a personal connection to what's happening in Minnesota.
I am the proud daughter of 2 immigrants. So of course, I'm going to speak up for something that I'm very close to.
There are more protests planned for here in Milan. But when we asked the head of the International Olympic Committee about the protests, Kirsty Coventry steered clear of any politics.
The Games are a place where people can be reminded of the best of humanity.
But more protests are planned, including 2 for Friday, just as the opening ceremony gets underway. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Milan.
A number of Canadian athletes competing in the Winter Olympics in Italy are older than you might expect. But as Sarah Levitt explains, they're still gunning for gold.
This isn't Mark McMorris's first rodeo. It's the 4th Olympics for the Canadian snowboarder, with 3 bronze medals already to his name. At 32, McMorris is considered old for the big air and slopestyle events.
Still be competitive and pushing with the young guns is really amazing.
Still, some things have changed since he was 20.
The amount of work I need to put in is much greater than it was in 2014.
Milano Cortina will see an array of older athletes. There's a 52-year-old snowboarder, a 46-year-old downhill skier, and Canadian curler Mark Kennedy is 44.
As the body ages, it takes longer time for recovery, so that injuries become more important. And once you have an injury, a second injury on top of it, it's a real challenge for athletes as they age.
Here's Lindsey Vonn. Storied alpine skier Lindsey Vonn knows all about that. She hoped to make the ultimate comeback at 41 after retiring for nearly 6 years.
Where is Vonn? Oh, Vonn is in the netting!
Then a crash last week resulted in a torn ACL. Still, she says she'll compete.
I'm still here. I think I'm still able to fight. I think I'm still able to try, and I will try as long as I have the ability to.
Canadian figure skating pair Diana Stellato-Dudac and Maxime Deschamps have also been dealt a blow. They've pulled out of one event after 42-year-old Stellato-Dudac injured herself during training. She said this last year.
And I have always wanted to make history and be the oldest figure skater ever to win an Olympic gold medal, and so that is my goal.
Stellato-Dudac is waiting on a doctor's decision to see if the duo can compete at the individual pairs event. Back in Livigno, McMorris has no idea if this will be his last Olympics, but the goal remains the same.
Keeping my eyes on the prize.
Going for gold.
Always.
Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Livigno, Italy.
And an update to that story. On Wednesday night, Mark McMorris crashed during big air training and had to be taken off the course on a stretcher. He was getting ready for qualifying rounds on Thursday. His condition is not known right now, and it's not clear if he'll be able to compete in the Games. Now, there are always fewer participants during Winter Olympics compared to the summer ones, so the athletes' village is smaller too. This year, though, events are spread out across northern Italy, and so are those athletes. And as the CBC's chief correspondent Adrian Arsenault found out, the main athletes' village in Milan is more like a small neighborhood.
A very first look at the athletes' village in Milan. It is as you would hope it to be, a place where traditions live.
So thank you for bringing the moose.
Perennial village favorite, Canada's moose, modular and not yet named.
In Paris, it was very democratic and we had a vote.
That is 2016 gold medalist Erica Wiebe, wrestler turned athlete ambassador, if you will.
Everyone just shows up and is so excited to be here.
She knows the rules and the fun, including guessing the sport by looking at the athlete.
What do you figure?
Women's hockey.
Okay. That's the Italian women's hockey
Yeah,
team?
because they're all short, they're all always moving in a pack.
Canada's accommodations are shared with countries like South Korea and the Netherlands. All these new buildings holding some 1,500 athletes and support staff. The whole complex will eventually be turned into much-needed university residences.
This is the Team Canada building.
Already, it feels like a dorm.
Okay, we're all going in.
How long before you guys trade jackets?
I would be very surprised if they traded us.
Oh!
Milan's village is one of 6 athlete accommodations in Italy, so it's small, but that makes this an opportunity to get to know the neighbors.
Okay, we found Brad Marchand's room.
NHLers will stay right next to everyone else. For Olympic vet and gold medalist Isabel Wiedemann, that makes this a good chance for the speed skater to connect.
I don't know those athletes at all. We don't train alongside them. I know the women's hockey team quite well because we share a venue in Calgary, but yeah, people from different sports that I've never met. So I'm excited.
Welcome.
This is not bad.
To an athlete room in the Olympic Village.
Nothing fancy at first glance. But leave it to the likes of Sarah Nurse and her hockey teammates to make the space their own. Imagine seeing this whole village, the flags, the camaraderie of it all through fresh eyes, like those of first-time Olympian speed skater William Dangenou.
I was talking to my teammates, it almost feels like a utopia here, you know, like a village where everyone is, you know, healthy, wants to improve themselves, and they're here for a purpose also, which is great.
Togetherness matters in this era, as do sparks of whimsy. A little encouragement here to pick a plant, name it, care for it, ease some Olympic-sized stress. Figure skater Madeline Skeesis getting in on this.
Listen, this is a very important plant you've got. You cannot kill a plant that's called Ilya Rozanov.
Yeah, I saw someone got Shane Hollander, but
Okay.
maybe one of my roommates will, and then they can be together.
Aww.
In competition, they work. In the village, they play. In Milan, this is home.
Adrian Arsenault reporting, and CBC is your host broadcaster for Milano Cortina 2026. Join Adrian live for the opening ceremony on Friday. Special coverage starts at 10:30 Pacific, wherever you get CBC.
The weather update is brought to you by the BC Cancer Foundation. The future of cancer care can be your legacy. Fuel innovation and life-saving treatments by leaving a gift in your will today.
Darius Madavi here with the BC-wide weather forecast. Looks like a rainbow.
That's right.
And it's a bit warm.
That's
As
right.
we said, perhaps concerningly warm.
I think that's a fair assessment. Now,
I mean, the grouse grind is open.
Yeah, it's a bit early for
Ay.
that, isn't it?
Yeah.
We actually, the rainbow is still to come. That was my bad.
Oh, okay.
We have one other thing to look at first, which is the temperatures earlier today at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Extraordinarily warm. We touched on this earlier in the show, but I wanted to highlight a few places. Bella, 19 degrees Celsius, 19.2 actually, from what I saw. 16 Bella Coola, Tofino, 18 degrees Celsius. Vancouver, 12 here, but inland even warmer than that. That's at the airport. So widespread, very warm temperatures up and down the coast. And then if we look at some more inland, some interior areas, still above normal, but not quite to those extremes, although 12 degrees in Prince George is nothing to sneeze at. If we zoom out here, this is where we get to look at our rainbow map. This is the upper atmosphere, and here you can see a high-pressure ridge that's been sitting over BC. We've been seeing a lot of these ridges in the last few weeks, which is why we've been so warm and so dry generally throughout the last half or last well, really 3/4 of January and into February. Now, we've seen these troughs break in before, but this time it seems like it might stick for at least a couple weeks, which means that as we see this low pressure start to exert its dominance over BC as we get into next week, and then potentially even into a week beyond that, we're going to start to see some more cooler and wetter weather as this pattern looks like it may start to dominate. Now, this is still looking out quite a ways, so no guarantees that it sticks around, but it seems likely, and that would be good news for the snowpack. That being said, we will be keeping a close eye on the amount of precipitation that comes down and what it comes down as, because as temperatures are so warm, we've been seeing a lot more rain and rain on snow, leading to more snow melt, which is part of why we have these flood watches in place for the North Coast, high stream flow advisories for the Central Coast because of all that rain that's been coming in, that atmospheric river. It is continuing to move off now, so that's a little bit of good news. The next wave of precipitation is going to be focused more on southwest BC compared to the North and Central Coast, and as that happens, we will see about 24 hours of heavier rain, maybe 36 hours for some parts of the island. Heavier rain Friday into Saturday, late Friday into Saturday, but less focused on the North Coast. So hopefully those flood watches will come down soon. This is our avalanche danger map. It remains a little bit elevated, will continue to be over the next few days. We see a little bit of fluctuation in some areas, but generally you see a lot of orange on the map. That means if you're heading up into the mountains anytime soon, really anywhere in BC, just something to be aware of. Temperatures remain high throughout the end of the work week and slightly into the weekend, but they do start to come down as we get into the weekend and especially into early next week. So enjoy the spring-like weather while it's here. Here's our conditions for tomorrow. A lot of sun across BC with a few showers lingering in a couple spots. And here's our 5-day forecast, Dan. Again, enjoy the springtime weather. The rain returns soon.
Okay, Darius, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Owners of a new shop in Richmond want to popularize their hobby even more and bring back customers and life to the plaza they opened in. Stick around.
Hi, I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
Ring in the Year of the Horse with CBC at the Vancouver Chinatown Spring Festival Parade on Sunday, February 22nd. Join us along the parade route and celebrate the Lunar New Year. And never miss a special programming series, event, or contest. Subscribe to CBC's e-newsletter and keep connected with us.
Pokemon, hockey, anime, you name it, trading cards are making a comeback, don't you know?
And as Steve Jung finds out, the owners of a new store in Richmond want to help spread this hobby and bring some life back to an iconic mall.
So the best card I have is actually in the safe. I was able to pull this out of a box and grade this as a 10, which is very hard to do for sport cards. So that experience is forever very memorable to me. PSA 10 wise, which is the one that I'm holding, there's only 3 of these in the world. Hi, my name is Max. I'm the store owner of Team Collector. We're a Pokemon, One Piece, and TCG shop. We sell anything trading cards related and collectibles.
Are you looking for a gift?
Like as a collector, sometimes what makes this hobby interesting is that you have something that maybe it doesn't sell a lot, but it means something to you, and that's what you love, right?
What do you think is the best card that you have in this entire store?
That's a very tough question because there's like thousands of cards here, right? And it's to choose one, I think it's very hard. My name is Keith Wong. I'm the co-founder of Team Collectors. It's my hobby to get this started.
Yeah. Directly from Japan.
For me, for collecting, it's more like it's the artwork, right? It's kind of like buying paintings. You're going for the artwork. You're going for the artist, right? A lot of people like the artist, a lot of people like this artwork, and that's why they buy these kind of things, right? At the same time, at least for me, it's like an investment, right? There's many things that you can buy out there that grows in value, drops in value, but even for Pokemon, if it drops or goes up, it doesn't matter because I started with it. Yeah. So it's like this Pokemon looking down at this Pokemon, and then these two are also facing in.
Okay, and these are, okay, so I see Palkia,
yeah,
Dialga,
yeah,
Arceus,
and Giratina.
Giratina. It's the 4 legendary dragons, right?
Correct. If they collect something like this, they want all 4 because it makes the art.
I think everyone has a different opinion. That's where this hobby gets interesting. But what I think is sentiment, like sentimental values. So, like Pokemon, for example, like Pikachu, Gengar, Charizard, Bulbasaur, Venusaur. Those are like almost like household names for Pokemon. Even people who don't know Pokemon know those Pokemon.
They'll know Pikachu at least.
Yeah, like they will always like, oh yeah, that's a Pikachu. Oh yeah, that's a Charizard. So, like, and a lot of people grew up watching or like those Pokemon on TV or playing the games, and then now that they have disposable income, they're looking to get into collecting. They're always looking for those cards. So, like, that's where the demand comes from too. And then nostalgia, obviously, like, I want to get something that I wasn't able to afford myself like 20, 30 years ago. And I think also hype too. So like I think all those things combined kind of determines the the price point.
There was a shop in New Westminster not that long ago where robbers made off with like $10,000 worth of cards. It just seems it seems almost strange because you would assume these people come for cash. They would come for money. They would come for something that immediately you look at it, they know it's valuable. Yeah. But they're making off with the cards in all of these instances. As the owner of a card shop, like how does that affect like the way you think about the business, the way you approach maintaining this place?
It's actually very scary as a store owner, right? Like when we first opened, we were displaying stuff that are thousands of dollars. And ever since what happened in New West last week or 2 weeks ago, we started putting the expensive at home. We put it in a safe. We don't even display anymore because for that reason. And why thieves are doing that is because cards are very liquidable. So if someone steals a card, there's like hundreds or thousands of the same copies. And they can just go to another shop, go to another person, sell on eBay or whatever to get to move it really fast.
It is a difficult position for us to be in because when we first started this business, like it's a very harmless thing, right? Like, we just look at Pokemon cards. We buy a little bit, we sell a little bit, we trade a little bit, and like it was just supposed to be a thing that we do for fun, and you know. But now it has turned into a thing that attracts criminal. Like, I think if I say I don't worry at all, that would be a lie. But at the same time, like at Parker Place, we do feel a little bit safer because there's a 24-hour security here, and we're very close to the security. And Richmond is a little bit safer, so that is another thing that gives us a little bit more reassurance too. Like the people who are in this hobby, especially like for us to open a store, we generally just love the hobby, right? And it's difficult for us to see this is the stage of the hobby, I guess, or the collectible industry. But for us as store owner, there's honestly not much we can really do aside from just doing our own due diligence, like installing gates, having like a procedure where like we don't have any cash or anything valuable in the store after hours.
When we were kids, you know, we come to this mall quite often, like 20 years ago, and this would be like a hangout place. But ever since a lot of new malls opened, Parker Place has been like slowly less and less who are coming, and the people that are coming are like older and older. So when we first came to this place, we walked around and we saw the shop and we were like, oh, you know what? It would be very nice if we can, you know, make this mall popular again. And that was one of the reasons why, you know what? Why don't we just try something young where people can come and bring this mall back alive? And I think so far within the past 25 days, we talked to other store owners in this mall, and they actually mentioned that, you know what? Ever since you opened, they were getting more business. And that's a very positive sign for Parker Place, right?
Cool.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite Pokemon? Mm-hmm.
Charmander.
And that's based on what, Dan?
Well, he's such a good cook.
Okay, great.
You?
Rayquaza.
Oh, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. First Pokemon game I ever played. Thanks for being with us tonight on CBC Vancouver News at 6. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, YouTube, and our website, cbc.ca/BC.
We will have your next local news at 11 o'clock, right after the National. Good night.